Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Brownie.
He forgot for a second who he was.
Oh.
No, I was dramatic pause.
Oh, is that what TV show is that where they're like, pause longer? Oh, it's The Office.
Oh, I haven't seen The Office.
You know what I'm talking with
Yeah.
Aaron?
You made me admit on the internet I haven't seen The Office. Thanks, Kara.
Well, people
Now I'm
aren't
going to
here
be
for
persecuted.
people aren't here for The Office. They're here
For cats.
for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
So, this is yet another video in our ongoing series of us going back and taking a look at the films and deciding, generating two different videos. One where we look at the things that makes the film just great, absolutely worth going and checking out, and one why you probably don't want to go back and check it out, sort of the thumbs down part. But this is the good one, so this will be the one where people won't be mad at us for making it.
It's getting harder and harder to find things to not like about these, but they still exist.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's not what we're talking about. So come back next week, and you'll see us take giant poops all
Spill
over
the
it.
tea on Revenge of the Sith.
All right. So, Chris, what did you like about what made Revenge of the Sith a great movie?
Well, I think I'm going to start off with the settings. Yet again, another classic Star Wars staple.
Yep.
You go places, and they're super dope.
We get to see Kashyyyk.
Yeah, I think first time we get to see it, is it not?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So,
Yep.
Before that, I don't think we saw Wookiees even until.
Well, I mean, besides Chewbacca.
No, I mean, is Chewbacca in any of the movies besides Revenge of the Sith? I mean, up like 1, 2.
like, chronologically speaking,
Yeah.
this would be the first time, I think, that we see
Correct.
Wookiees.
Yeah, there you go.
In
so that's
release
what I'm saying.
order.
Like in release
Yeah.
order, obviously.
You get to see Chewie.
In chronological order, though.
So yeah, we get to see Kashyyyk, and then we also get to see the planet. I don't want to mess up the pronunciation, but Utapu. Is that the general consensus?
The big hole that Grievous lives in.
Yes.
Utapu.
And then the other really cool location, and again, I love Star Wars because it's an ever-expanding universe. And like Kara's shirt, she's wearing Secrets of the Empire, where you go to Mustafar. That's introduced to us as well in Revenge of the Sith. And there's some great scenes we'll talk about later on, but just a really cool planet. And we used our own shot of it for the music video.
Yeah,
And,
eventually where Darth Vader builds his castle.
Yep. I want to build that Lego set really bad.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like Chris, you pointed out, Anakin just keeps going back to places he loses limbs.
Yep.
Mustafar, he loses most of his limbs.
Yeah. Except for the one he already lost
Right.
on Geonosis.
He's got his summer home there.
What a beautiful setting.
Oh my goodness.
So
yeah.
we get all the cool locations. I like the ships. And so
We
get
know.
Luke.
We're so familiar.
I know, right?
We get a
I think
couple-
we've mentioned ships in every single.
Well,
It's one of those.
Thing now.
It's those standard things that Star Wars just does well.
the movie starts off strong by introducing us to this movie. I mean, it's all about ships. You get to see Anakin and the new Jedi Starfighters, or the Jedi Interceptors, I think is what they're called. You get Grievous's awesome capital ship. You get to see the new like Star Destroyer or the proto Star Destroyer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell that's obviously.
Well, it's kind of
Yeah,
fun. It's
a lot of the things you see where they're leading. It's like I don't know explicitly that the Jedi Starfighter leads to the A-wing, but they looks like
absolutely.
that's what it
Right.
gets molded into. Then
It's just
the
like
first
they cut
version
the
of the Star Destroyer.
point off
yeah.
the interceptor. And
Yep. And then the Arc, the clone ones look like X-wings. You know, just not quite there yet. And
Yeah, they have like the 3 wings instead of the 2 or whatever.
we get all these really great ships. Again, with like the sound effects and stuff like that. The movie just starts off really strong, which
Yeah.
is kind of a contrast to episode 1.
Like generally speaking, if you can start off with just like something that pulls you right into the movie,
Right.
and this space battle just nails it. It's like the end of Return of the Jedi just put into the beginning
Yep.
of this movie. So it was dope.
It was absolutely awesome.
Totes my goats.
So, Kara, what'd you like?
I like some lightsaber battles.
Ooh, and again, there's one that starts off right away, pretty much.
Yeah. The Anakin Dooku fight.
I've been looking forward to this.
It's awesome. It's sick. It's amazeballs.
It's the first time you see Anakin just immediately bend to Palpatine's will.
Good, Anakin, good. Kill him. Kill him now. Do it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I mean, chops off Dooku's hand, just gone. He's sitting there like, oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me, and just
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
and Anakin's not Anakin, sorry, Obi-Wan's knocked out, so he
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
see
you can't.
this first, like he wasn't there to be able to talk him out of doing it.
Right.
Right.
Which he would have.
Do you think Palpatine caused that little thing to happen and knock
Absolutely,
Kenobi out?
probably.
I mean, he had
Yeah.
to have
I mean,
manipulated it somehow.
The dude's got his hand in everything else.
He does.
He probably did. But this is just speculation. But
It is.
It is a reason why the movie is such a cool watch.
Absolutely.
Because
a
like
great
it's just
fight.
like you're. I think we'll finish talking about lightsaber battles and we'll get into some other
lightsabers are
stuff.
the best.
But
So,
You've
other than
got
that,
Anakin Dooku.
Anakin Dooku, Kenobi Grievous.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
And I think go ahead.
I remember the first time I saw that movie, Grievous when he starts just doing the windmill with all those lightsabers.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
So good.
It is.
So good.
Well, then I know we've all discussed and talked about it, and we like the fact that it's not like a long, drug out thing where Kenobi's getting his butt whomped on by Grievous. It's like just all of a sudden, whoosh, there goes one of Grievous's arms, and whoosh, there goes the other.
You are doomed.
Oh, I don't think so.
Grievous's arms, he's like, oh shoot, and he
Yeah.
like books out of there.
And I think you guys said they expand more on in the Clone Wars, but he
Yeah.
runs away. That's like Grievous's thing
Every single time.
is like getting away. Like he's that classic, even in like video games, like the boss. It's like, oh, I'll get you next time, and he
Right.
runs away.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and that's
blasting
just
off again.
It's, so, and then it's kind of funny too because in the Galaxy of Heroes game we play, if Grievous gets below a certain health level, he forces somebody else to taunt and take the damage.
Yeah. The force toss. But when you see Grievous, I just like the line that he has where he's like,
You fool! I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
"You fool! I was trained in the Jedi arts by Count Dooku. Just about that fight specifically. And then again, I like to, you get the little bit of a throwback joke. He shoots Grievous in the chest is what actually kills him.
Right.
He tosses the blaster down. He's like, so uncivilized.
So uncivilized.
Yep.
You know, but it's just that plausibility.
Yeah.
They like went that extra step. It wasn't one shot. It was
Right.
like he keeps shooting him, and it was
Yeah, you need to be
relate the
sure.
Right.
character.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what you said. Anybody in that position would have like just multiple shots into
Exactly.
somebody. It wouldn't be just like, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
So all around
You know.
tremendous fight scene.
So
Yeah. And then you get to see Mace Windu again be a stone cold badass.
He
Yeah.
is just crushing Palpatine.
But yeah, and then Palpatine not a bad lightsaber fighter, obviously.
No.
But Mace Windu just like schools him.
Yes.
But you have to wonder if it's a little bit of a manipulation thing because then
Absolutely.
Anakin comes, even though he's told explicitly not to.
right.
He shows up.
He shows up and then whatever. But yeah, so that's again, it's not overly drawn out. It's
Right.
just good.
Right. So like, they've obviously have improved the movie quality in this one overall.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the fight pacing and pacing overall type of thing, I think that sort of goes hand in hand. Like it just moves you through the story.
And then we get to see, it moves on, we get to see Palpatine then fight Yoda
Right.
later on in the movie. And again, we get to see Dooku and Yoda fight in episode 2. And now seeing him fight head-to-head with Palpatine.
Yeah.
Again, with the catching the Force lightning. Incredible.
Right. Totally.
Because Palpatine is the most powerful Sith in this universe. And bad villain. And then you get to see
Well, and it looks like
Yoda.
it takes a little bit out of Yoda this time, though, too.
Right.
When he stops Dooku's, he's
Right.
like, it's not so much of a big deal.
Not even a thing.
But like with Palpatine's, he's like, it's definitely like a struggle.
Right, those
I
two are
just
more
love
on
it when
par with each
Yoda
other.
does he send the electricity back at him or what?
No,
he force
he-
pushes them and
the
he
senator
just goes
thing.
Yeah.
just goes flying backwards.
Because we're talking about lightsaber battles. Come on.
You are a brother to me.
The culmination of all lightsaber battles, probably one of the best ones into the entire series
Yeah.
so far. is
This one is long.
Obi-Wan and
But it's-
Anakin.
But justified,
So-
I think. Justifiably
Absolutely.
long.
Right. It's I mean like Kenobi says, Anakin was like a brother to him. You don't want this just to be a quick over lightsaber battle.
Yep.
This is going to be like the culmination of everything. You know.
Yeah.
Just so good. And the emotions between the characters, it just really helps sell the story that is what pushed him over the edge, truly. And it's amazing to see even the way that they showed him burning and just the amount of pain he goes through.
Oh my gosh.
Tremendous thing.
Yeah, so and I think that speaks to one of the other things that we think makes this a great movie is the characters and the characterizations of those characters. Anakin is finally a good character.
Right.
Right.
Like the all the problems that he had with just unmotivated like outbursts and stuff in the first one. Every time he does something that pushes him closer to the dark side, it's motivated by something, and it just everything makes total sense. Like you see him like,
Well, when he shows
but-
up, it's to save Padme.
Yep.
Like he's willing. He knows Palpatine's a Sith Lord because he tells Mace Windu
Yep.
And he shows that he's sitting there thinking about he wants to arrest him. He doesn't want him to die because
Right.
Padme is too important to him. So he's willing to like save a Sith Lord in order to save Padme. Totally
Yeah.
justifiable.
No, exactly.
So he's letting his emotions get the better of him, which Jedi are not supposed to do.
You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Anakin's character is so much better. The Palpatine finally, like he's had just like a straight upward
Right.
progression and just becoming a better and better character.
Yeah.
Like he was just like whatever politician setting up the things at the beginning,
Yep.
and then moving forward.
Right.
In the second one, they used him a little bit less, but just the right amount to set up the ultimate parts where he just flips the switch. And all the things happen. Order 66 happens. All the things are just falling in line, and you
Right.
see finally his game come to a conclusion. It's such, and just the way he does it, Ian McDermott is such a just the perfect person to play
Yes.
this character.
100% agree.
And there's the fact too. That is the actor from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. He was young and they made him look old.
Yep.
And this time he was actually able to play his age in the movie. And he's still going around doing some awesome stuff as a person. He just went and volunteered with Hayden Christensen to go to some hospitals in one of the most recent cons.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which was really
Turning
really
more
cool.
Padawans to the dark side.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
He wants Anakin to take out those younglings.
Oh no, that's the opposite.
But so episode 3 has got some great ship fights or ship stuff, and we get the lightsaber fights. In episode 2, we saw some great battles, and those are continued on in episode 3.
Yeah.
So I feel like the battle on Kashyyyk kind of sets up the idea of because a lot of times Hoth was a barren fight and stuff like that, a place where it's actually like this lush, alive place that's just getting wrecked
Right.
by these fights. And then in Rogue One, you have the tropical place,
Scarif.
Right.
where it's just it's such a beautiful setting and such a terrible thing happening on there
Right.
to it, and so. I think, and then obviously you get to see a bunch of more Wookiees and stuff, which is always really cool on there. So yeah, combination setting battle idea. It's really neat.
Yep. That's
Just some
awesome.
awesome battles.
So I think there's only I just want to mention real quick before we wrap up. There's a couple other characters that we've mentioned them before, where people are familiar with them, but Padme's character, the thing so she I had mentioned in episode 1, she was the person who seemed like that she had the most development.
Right.
And again, you get to the end of her arc and see her she had fallen in love with Anakin, and she basically before her eyes she sees him make the ultimate fall,
Right.
and it kills her,
Right.
and it's and that's such a powerful thing. And then Obi-Wan, ultimately basically just gives up what obviously Order 66 changes everything, but
Right.
he ends up going into hiding, and his entire life is totally different because of the choices that his Padawan has made. So it's and you can start to see how that's weighing on him near the end of the film, how that leads to from him being such a charismatic leader type of person to someone who just secludes himself from everything to try and make sure that nothing befalls Luke before
Right.
the events of episode 4. And I think that's a really cool thing, and to see being so familiar with the character, but to see exactly how that happens is such a neat thing.
Yep. And
Definitely.
Obi-Wan's my favorite character across the entire trilogy. And Alec Guinness sells it, and just, you get that backstory.
Yeah.
Motivation of why he is the way that he is. I'm super excited for what's to come with his character.
I know. I'm so excited for the TV show.
But yeah, we have the epitome of event that happened in episode 3 as well, which really helped define Star Wars universe and really sync the events of episode 4.
Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
Yes, my lord. Blast them!
I'll tell you what. I am so sad whenever Order 66 happens, especially after watching Clone Wars, because throughout all of Clone Wars, you get attached to these clones,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, Order 66. I mean,
Not just the clones, but the Jedi who die.
Yeah.
Normally, you'd only see them get cut down and then they're done. You know, when you do learn a little bit of backstory about them, it makes all those scenes that much more powerful.
It's a lot more emotional. I mean, it's the fact that Star Wars can pull that kind of emotion from you is like, you know, it's insane.
Well, you have to invest into it first, though, too,
That's
because
true.
like I haven't seen any of the EU stuff really. So, but like it's still really powerful scene. Really, like it sets up exactly how like diabolical Palpatine is, how
Absolutely.
completely Anakin has now decided to join the dark side. Like it does a lot of work on its own, but then they can take that and they can contextualize it if you invest more time into these other series and make it even more so.
Well, they kind of touched on it, maybe I guess a little bit, where when Kenobi or Cody picks up Kenobi's lightsaber, and what does he say to him? He's like, "Oh, you might be needing this, sir," or whatever. He almost kind of jokes maybe a little bit about it,
Right.
And then literally 10 seconds later, he orders them to shoot at Kenobi to kill him.
You know.
It's like
Great scene though.
so good.
Yoda scene beheads the clone troopers that were gonna.
Right, I
backstab
mean,
him.
like,
Yeah,
doesn't even think about it. He's just like, oh,
He knows
guys,
what's up.
Yep, that Force sense. He's like, done. Sorry, guys.
Get to see Bale step in and kind of because he picks up Yoda. And, But yeah, it just the whole movie really cements the transition from the prequels into the original 4, 5, and 6 that we all know and love.
Yeah, it was,
Overall, absolutely great movie.
yeah. I had mentioned how much I liked it, but I haven't seen it a bunch of times since it's come out. I watched that one the most of them. But it had still been, probably 10 years since I'd watched any of the prequels. And I remember liking it, and I liked it so much more even this time. It's like this. It's a full-on awesome Star Wars movie.
Absolutely, and we got to watch 1, 2, and 3 pretty close together in real time, and really helped sync that story into your emotions. And I can't wait. I think being able to go all the way and see Episode 9 in the theaters with just a fresh watch of the entire trilogy, the entire series of movies.
The entire nonology.
There you go. I didn't know that word what exactly would it be, but loved the movie. That's my opinion. So
Yeah, it was good. Like we all said, we had a hard time finding things to hate.
Yeah.
So, or not hate, dislike.
But come back next week and you can see what we did think was terrible about Episode 3. And I can't actually wait to discuss that.
yeah,
There are some things that we
there are
found.
some things. Yeah.
But yeah, so if you like this video, go ahead and throw a like on it. It means a lot to us. It shows that you're supporting the types of things that we're doing and you want to see more stuff like this. Go ahead and subscribe. You can come back and check out the things that we're doing. If you really want to see what we're up to, ring the notification bell and you'll be notified every time we upload something. And of course, Star Wars is such a big thing, we can't possibly talk about everything. Comment below the things that you think make Episode 3 a great movie. I'm sure that there's a lot of discussion still to be had, and we'll see you down there in the comments. And of course,
May the Force be with you.